But yeah, man, I'm excited to sit down with you, man. I mean, the last two times that we had a conversation, was very interesting about your journey of what you went through and stuff like that. And the last time we talked when you was here during the event, I wish that we had started recording something then because
Yeah.
the way you was getting into it, I was just like, I don't even know if I don't even remember what questions I was asking, but it was it was really deep, man.
Yeah, man, that's just like I said, I reached that point to where now, man, even when you start just conversation, man, like I know it's gonna get to that point. Because you did ask a lot of questions that brought out a lot of things that, I could tell you definitely been doing this because you was
No.
able to bring questions out of me that, I was like, I just felt comfortable just going ahead and speaking on. And then, like I said, I finally reached the point, man, where I'm ready to share my story, share my journey, man. And that's why I'm excited to have this opportunity, man, because it's just like it's something I've been wanting to get back to.
Right.
It's a space that, I was just praying and making sure I took the time to, when I did release my story, because I know, if you look at where things are in today's world, especially with my journey, and then you think about athletes, like, when you think about the mental aspect of it, like, that's really becoming a bigger and bigger topic now. And so it's like, okay, what better time to share my story than now?
Right.
Because there's so many athletes, man, so many former athletes, and just people in general that's just dealing with this same thing, man. You constantly seeing it day in and day out now where athletes are killing themselves and things of that nature simply because of their mental is so out of whack. So I think it's now, especially in men, like I said, man, if you're going to look it up, the suicide rate in men is twice as high as it is in women. That's simply because we've been so conditioned to just, internalize everything we're dealing with
Right.
and never really just, it was never okay to just talk about what we were dealing with. From a kid to a man, you're always taught, tough it up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stop crying or, you know what I mean? For lack of a better word, stop bitching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And to make it so bad, it's not just a man, your dad or your uncles saying that to you when you're a young boy, but it's also the women saying that to you.
Yep.
Your mom will be like, "All right, get up and go play. You all right?"
Yep.
and so we're taught from that early age of we can't show that side of where we've been that emotional side that we're hurt.
Right.
So the physical part was displayed to us. Don't show that you got hurt physically. So just imagine the emotional part. There's not even, like you said, there's not even a conversation about that whatsoever.
It's not. And then you look at it in today's world, like right now, if a man speak on how he feel emotionally, especially when you're speaking from a woman's perspective, most, not all, but you'll be considered sassy or whatever this may be
I just
because
heard that they start calling men that.
Yeah, because you're
like,
speaking
sassy?
about how you feel or you're emotional about whatever it may be. Like, but a lot of times folks forget that you're human too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then you have some good women out there that are actually, want to be there for you, want to help you, want to, help you deal with those mental battles and things of that nature. Right.
Yeah.
But,
Emotionally console you.
Absolutely. But you know what I'm saying? You have those who have also, you have some men that have done that before, but
got
that have
burned
turned
by
around
it.
and been used against them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have used those moments that man shared to you in those vulnerable moments against him when it was, you felt like it was to your benefit.
Right.
So a lot of times that causes a lot of men to just be like, you know what? Don't
Just
worry
shut
about
off.
it. It is cool. You know what I'm
and
saying?
you know what? And when you just said that, I just had a thought that might be wrong, but I'm just going to put it out there anyway. There are a lot of women who are not conditioned or trained to understand how to deal with a man's emotions either.
No, they're not.
They know how to deal with feminine emotions because they relate to another female and how females internalize and express their emotions. So they know how to combat that or console that. But when it comes to how men are dealing with our emotions and stuff like that, like they don't know how to deal with that from that perspective.
Because you got to think, most of them have been taught their entire lives, like from their mothers and grandmothers, that a man's supposed to be a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even from
Protect and provide.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? You never really, if you think about it right now, if you think about the stories from that you've always heard from about your grandfather and things of that father, whatever the case may be, it was all most times it was protect and provide. It was never about from an emotional standpoint. It was
Right.
never really. Those are never the conversation that you
Right.
hear about or heard about. It was more so you being that man, being that protector, being that provider, and just being a man,
Right.
being the man of the house. So from generations to generations, like that's what's been taught. So I don't feel like a lot of women just do it intentionally, but they haven't been taught either.
It's their training. It's their cultural training as well.
Absolutely.
Their cultural training is a man is supposed to provide for you, and he's supposed to, when you are in danger, protect you. And the thing that is going to make them want the woman is your physical beauty. And so display that, but then also kind of show us a sense of respect for who they are as women as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so after that, it's kind of like, well, that's all the lessons. Now the man and woman in the relationship have to figure out everything else, along with they're growing mentally and emotionally, and
Right.
they're trying to figure themselves out while trying to be with someone else at the same time,
Absolutely.
and vice versa. They have a bigger leg up on us because, like I said, from a child, when they fall down and get hurt, we console them and we allow for them to express themselves emotionally. Okay, it's okay to cry. Go ahead. Okay, but let me wipe your tears. Everything's okay.
Yep.
Da, 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 da. Okay, now you good? You straight? Okay, all right. Now go out there and play.
Right.
With us, get up, boy.
Well,
Go.
get up.
Get up.
You
Get out
you
there.
all right? Get
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's start from the beginning, man, because I don't want to get too far ahead. And people are like,
Yeah,
why is he sitting
absolutely.
down talking to this guy? So let's get into who you are and what you did and what you got.
Hey man, my name Jalen Wilkerson. From a little small town called Douglas, Georgia, Coffee County. I'm the oldest boy out of two boys, and then I was blessed to have sister on my dad's side, and another sister on my stepdad's side. So I'm the oldest of four. It's four of us. Those are my siblings. I have two daughters, man, Riley and Rain, 7 and 5 years old, and yeah, I graduated from Coffee High in 2015. I had a chance to go on to play collegiate football at Florida State University. Had a great time there. Had the opportunity to meet a lot of great people. Then after that, I had an opportunity to grace the NFL level with the Houston Texans and the Washington Redskins. Though I didn't get to stay as long as I wanted due to medical reasons, and we'll get into that. But those are just some of the things that I had the opportunity to do, and just a little bit about me.
Yeah. So now that we got that out of the way, now we can have a real conversation because I wanted people to know who you were before we really got into all of this stuff, so they can give meaning and text behind everything that you're talking about from your experiences. So you were saying that you felt like it was the right time to start telling your story. So why do you feel that, and what is that story?
Just that transition from from being an athlete back to regular life, and then just the way I grew up. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at all the things that's going on in the world. Just from a male perspective, man, and a male standpoint, it's just like I feel like a lot of times we internalize things so much that we all this pressure begins to build up, and then now you're seeing a lot of things being spoken about now with men's mental health.
Right.
You're seeing more often than not now, like suicide from athletes, former athletes, and things of that nature. And all of them are dealing with so many things. And those things didn't just start once they got to the height of their careers. These are things that they've been dealing with mostly since a kid. You know what I mean? And I'm also one of those people that's been through a lot. I grew up in a household without my biological father. You know what I mean? I spent time living with my grandparents. It's a lot of different things that I went through growing up. I was always that kid that couldn't go on field trips, and my childhood it wasn't the worst, but it also wasn't the best, because I stayed in things as well. But I was blessed to come out on the other side of that. But it's just like now I finally reached the point. And it's something I've been pondering on for a while. Like, and that's because I had to get myself to a place mentally to where I could fully share my story, you know what I mean, and not feel no way about it, but also it coming from a genuine place as well, and it not feeling forced. So I feel like now, I've reached that point to where I can share my story full on and also be able to try to help somebody that may be battling with what I've battled with and still battle with sometimes.
Right. So let's go to the beginning, right? So do you want to go back to college and just talk about, your journey of going through there and your, as an athlete, as a young man trying to navigate that success? Because I'm pretty sure high school and elementary school and, you're going through that journey as well. But when you get into college, it's like the demand for you to be more than just an athlete
Yep.
is the pressure. You know what I mean? Because when you're a kid, even in high school, it's still like, get your education as a kid, but no, be the player. You know what I mean? And even that, and you tell me if I'm wrong about thinking this, it's not as demanding as it would be for college, because even in college, they kind of still look at it as you got to treat this like it's a career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Versus, in high school, it's still like not extracurricular, but it's like, take it seriously, but it's not your career.
Right, absolutely.
So getting into college, what was that like, and starting up, in college ball, like doing that? What was going on during that time?
Man, it was a beast. You know what I mean? Like, it was a beast because even with transitioning to college, like, that transition wasn't easy in itself because after high school graduation, you know what I mean, I'm getting ready to transition to college. And the day I'm getting ready to transition to college, I get a call from my university basically telling me that I can't enroll.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Simply because NCAA Clearinghouse had come back and said that they wasn't going to accept the class that I took back in ninth grade.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So basically in that moment, I had to either enroll in summer school back at my high school or try to figure out another way to take a class in order for me to get on campus. All my scores, I had my ACT scores, I had them been accepted into the university.
What school was this?
Florida State.
Florida State? Okay.
Yes, sir. But Clearinghouse had came back and said they weren't going to accept the class that I took, back in ninth grade, which was I took a credit recovery class because I jacked out the first semester of ninth grade, and ended up having to retake a class that second semester. But that class I took obviously wasn't going to be accepted. So I had already started out behind the 8 ball. I ended up having to enroll into a high school in Florida, retake that class. So I missed all the summer workouts. So I wasn't with the team doing summer workouts because I was in high school down in Florida retaking a class. You know what I mean? So I'm missing that time. I'm getting a bond with teammates. I'm missing that time where, I should be in workouts with the team, and I'm missing all of that. Because I'm trying to get this class took. I'm trying to get all this stuff submitted to get into school so I can start participating with my teammates. So I finally got that done in the end of summer. Fall camp started in August. I get all my paperwork and stuff back 2 days before fall camp. So I done missed all the conditioning. I done missed everything, that everybody else done had to have all summer. I didn't get to get that. So out the back I came in, I wasn't in that shape. I wasn't that strong. I didn't have the playbook. So I didn't get all this till 2 days before camp. So now I'm trying to find my way, trying to figure my way throughout this thing. Like, where do I even start? Where do I even go? Because all you know is a person can give you a book this thick. You know what I mean? And like,
really?
This is the plays you got to learn. And we start, the day's Sunday, we start Tuesday. And you need to start learning that. I mean, I had been working out, but it was nothing like the workouts they had been going through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Conditioning workout.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can feel myself. I'm looking at my body and looking at theirs. It's like, bro, I'm behind. You know what I mean? But I realized quickly, like, I had to make up my mind, and, I had to really dig deep in order to even give myself a chance to, be there.
Right.
Because at that level, man, it's like, those folks ain't babying you. They got all these other athletes they got to worry about.
Right.
So, yes, they're going to push you and do their part, but what are you going to do extra to give yourself that opportunity to be ready for when your number is called? So like you say, it's more so now it's like a career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like ain't nobody holding your hand, ain't nobody telling you got to do this, ain't no like this ain't just solely the coach now. You know what I mean? This ain't high school ball. It's complete. This Division I football, the highest level that you can play this game,
Right.
and collegiate football. It's like now you got to make up your mind what you want to do and what you gonna be.
That
And
accountability, like you going to school to learn accountability for yourself.
absolutely,
know?
like ain't nobody telling you make sure you get up on time to show up the workouts, make sure you getting up on time to be to class and all that. Ain't nobody doing that.
Right.
Like in high school, you pretty much you know you got to go to school.
Yeah, parents gonna say something, then if you don't show up
Yeah.
to school, the teachers and the principals, everybody gonna be like, "Hey, where's the student at?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's different, man. But like I said, I had already started out behind the eight ball, and I think what was kind of hard for me was, I didn't really have nobody that sat me down and kind of told me what to expect. I never really had nobody that, was like, hey, man, this is how this gonna go. This is what you need to look out for. This is how you need to prepare for this. This is how you need to do that. I didn't have that, so everything I had to learn in that space, I had to really learn on the go, which was even more mentally straining because it's like, okay, I'm taking this huge adjustment. I'm away from home. I'm away from, what I'm saying, family or whatever. And I'm out here, trying to figure things out. I already just got over this little stomping ground, this little hurdle trying to get here. And I was like, I really don't have nobody to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, man, what I need to do, or how should I go about this, or man, I just need to talk about this, man. I'm having this kind of day, so
Right.
like it was like already a setback from the beginning.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because I'm dealing with all these things, physically and emotionally. Because like I say, physically I'm out of shape. I'm not where I need to be. Mentally, it's like I'm already behind because I had to spend my entire summer retaking a whole high school class, and just trying to get to where I need to be to even, go here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And one thing I can say, I thank that university, though, because they did everything they can to stay beside me to make sure that I got it done and make sure I got in school.
So they still gave you the support.
Absolutely. Like, and they was there every step of the way, which they could have turned their focus to somebody else. Like, hey, well, you ain't eligible, so we're gonna get your scholarship to somebody else or whatever that looks like. But they stayed beside me and like, hey, whatever we need to do, we're gonna make calls, we're gonna do this, but whatever it takes to get you to where you need to be, we're gonna do that.
Okay. Well, that was good. So I know you had some good times there as well, man. So even though you had to buckle down and play catch up, what was the experience of? Because I'm from Georgia also, Macon, Georgia, and I'm pretty sure, like me, you grew up in a place where that's all you knew.
Right.
The type of people you dealt with, that same type of mindset. We all talked the same. We all act the same. We all did all the same stuff. And so now you're taken out of that environment to this school, Florida, where it's not majority black, right? Majority white. So their cultural education and stuff like that is completely different from yours. And I'm pretty sure, they was looking at you in a different way. So how was that? Was that jarring for you to come from, okay, country town to, okay, now we're going to this major college community and center and stuff like that? What was that experience like? Good and bad.
I would say the good was, it gave me an opportunity to learn different culture. Like I said, now you're dealing with a multitude of people, like from all different backgrounds, all different demographics. Like you're dealing with so many different people and different, things that I feel like gave me an opportunity to get out of what I knew. Like you said, I grew up around the same thing every single day.
Right.
So it gave me an opportunity to get out, meet new people, learn new people, and learn about their culture, learn about their backgrounds and things of that nature, which I probably wouldn't have done if I would have still been in that same environment. Yeah. That's one of the pros to it, but the cons to it is just like you don't know what to expect. Right. And I wouldn't even say that's a con. It's just like I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to approach the situation, and in some instances, all people aren't as approachable as you think. So, me being growing up in a small town, I'm very we one of them times where you sit on a porch and somebody ride by, everybody wave at everybody. Yeah. You pretty much know who's who.
Yeah.
But like there, it's kind of like everybody in their own world. They there on their own mission, on their own journey. So it was kind of like it was difficult to figure out how to navigate in that space. 'Cause I found myself a lot of times trying to be somebody else so I can try to fit into this society, you know what I mean? Because it's like, man, I don't think I can be me. I need to be somebody else so I can fit in, or I didn't know if I can be me and, fit in. So it was also trying to find that my identity in that place as well.
Right.
So it was like, but as time went on, I learned that, everybody's uniquely themselves. And so I was able to, just be myself, and that started to spread, and I started to meet people. I started to build relationships. I started to create bonds, and it just
Open up your mind to
yeah. And so now it's like, okay, dang, like yeah, we all different. We all from different backgrounds, but we all human. You know what I mean? And it takes sometimes you being yourself, to bring it out of individuals. So
that was the thing. Like you just hit. What's up, Chief? No, you go ahead, do your thing, man. What's going on, man?
what's up, man?
It's Jalen, man. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
You done all right? Doing good. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. What's going on, bro? Yeah, he got the rings out there for everybody to take a look at them. Go ahead, man. Yeah, he got the rings, man.
Oh, you won the Super Bowl? No college? Oh, okay, man. That was up.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
But yeah. So just coming in and navigating that whole situation, man. I always like I said, coming from Macon and just learning, like being out of your comfort zone and then going to a place that's completely different. Like most people can't handle that situation. For me, it was mine was a little bit different. Mine was I knew when I was in high school that it was time for me to leave because I wasn't like everybody else that I grew up with. I was, and how you felt in college was how I felt in my hometown my whole life.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, I just never knew why. It was just like, I'm not interested in the things that a lot of the young people are doing. I don't have those same conversations or, the things that they was into and all that kind of. I was just like, I'm just not interested in any of that. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like I was completely, a recluse. Like I still had cousins and friends and stuff. And we still did young boy stuff from time to time. But it wasn't like, I don't know. I guess I had that old soul. My mother and father had me when they was already in high school.
Gotcha.
So all my uncles and my mom and my dad, I see them grow up from kids into adults. So all of the pitfalls and things like that a young person would go through, I've seen that firsthand already. So when it was my time, like my time at bat, it was kind of like, oh, I already know where that's going. Like I already see the consequences. Nah, I'm good. I'm that right there. But then at the same time, I just wasn't interested that much in where I was at.
Man, and it's crazy because it wasn't until I left and went to college and came back that I realized that. And it's like even now to this day, it's like I love where I'm from. I don't never think I'm better than nobody, but it's just like the interest that are there isn't my interest. You know what I mean? And just not even that. It's just I feel like this world is so full of opportunity. And I realized that once I got out that bubble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like now things I'm able to do, the people I'm able to meet, like for instance, meeting you. Like I would have never met you if I would have never got out that bubble.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's coming up here creating that whole circle of, people and friends and business relationship and so much more. Like, but you would never know that if you weren't willing to get outside the norm and realize that it's a big world out here, man. It's a lot of opportunity out here, and like I say, it's not me thinking that I'm better than the next, but it's just like the things that y'all are still interested in. It's like that's no longer my interest, and it's like, yo, we still doing this?
Yeah,
Like,
that's how it is.
When I left here, that's what we were doing, and I've been going, and I come back, and this is what we still doing. It's like, y'all got it. You know what I mean? Like I always come show love and this, that, and the third, but that's not my interest. Like, I mean, I honestly I'd rather be home here with my family that I'm building and my friends and family that I'm creating here. You know what I mean? So because like I say, one thing I also realize is out here it's a lot of individuals out here that's like minded. It's a lot of people out here that's goal driven. You know what I mean? And that's come from small backgrounds like that, and that's trying to overcome those obstacles that they had set before them, and trying to overcome a lot of things that a lot of people probably didn't get an opportunity to
Right. Because the
overcome.
opportunities weren't down there.
They weren't.
You know.
And if you weren't in those circles or in those pockets or those cliques, then you was already behind the eight ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you know how a lot of times in those small towns everything is cliquish.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to bend who you are and be in certain circles,
Yeah.
then you already got, not saying you can't do it, but you already behind the eight ball. And that's another fight you're gonna have to fight to even try to get to where you are going to.
If you even recognize it, even if you even realize it, most people don't even realize it because
Right.
they're already in this pocket that you said. So it's kind of like I have no need to grow and learn anything else other than what's already coming towards me or already here. You know what I mean? In my hometown or my clique and stuff like that. So it's not really okay. I'm complacent. Like
Yep.
I'm good. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just like this. This is all I need to know. So.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny you said that because that's the one thing that me and my cousins when we left Macon, and that's what we realized when we would go back home. That same exact thing. Like, okay, we left, whether it's a couple of months, maybe a year or two, whatever, and we come back and we're just like, wait a minute, ain't nothing changed. Like, and the landscape changed. We get some Walmarts, we get some new stores, we get you know what I'm saying, some new things like this, but the culture haven't changed.
Yeah, the mentality is still the same.
Yeah, the mentality is still the same, man. So you run into old friends and family members or whatever the case may be. And the thing that, not so much now, but back in the day when I would go back home, you run into old friends and family, and it does it. I won't say it disturbed me, but it really raised a red flag to me when I sit down with them, right? So let's say you've been gone for 5 years, you've gone through college and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, and you come back home and you run into some friends, barbecue, family gatherings, or you just ran into them at the grocery store or something, and you start having conversations with them, and I would say 60, maybe 70% of what y'all talking about or what they're talking about is still stuff from back when y'all was younger.
Back then.
The highlight of when we was young. Oh man, you remember this and that, so on and so forth. And that's good when you start off like that.
Right.
But then as you continue the conversation, it's like, well, that's all you're talking about. Like,
It's like, what now?
what now? Like, what's going on now? You know what I mean? And that's something that we and it's always been that thing of as soon as we get down there, man, we ready to come back because we were just like, there's nothing else for me to do down here. I visit the friends, I visit the family members. I said, hey, kissed the grandma on the cheek, shook the granddaddy hand. Hey, dad. Hey, pop. Hey, moms, or whatever. Hey, uncle. All right, well, I'm ready to hit back home, because I'm not interested in anything else to do down here. You know what I mean?
Literally, and that's me. Like, and at first I thought I was being weird. I had a conversation with my lady about it. Like, man, I don't saw the fam. I don't kicked it with everybody. It's like, man, I'm ready to go now. Like, and at first I used to feel bad. I be like, dang, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just better than nobody, or because shoot, I deal with life just like everybody else do.
Right.
But it's like the mentality here is like it's draining.
Yeah.
Like, you look around and it's like, yo, the same people that was standing on the block when you left is still standing on the block. The same people that was having these conversations when you left are still having these conversations. It's like, at what point are we gonna not only talk about elevation, but at least start trying to, put things into play to elevate. You know what I mean? Because of course, a lot of things out here is trial and error. You know what I mean? But it's like if we're not getting out here and really trying, all we ever doing is, talking about it, you know what I'm saying, and just drinking about it and all this, then what are we really doing?
And the same complaints they had back then, the same complaints they have now.
You know what I mean? It's like, what have you done to change it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we was complaining about that 10 years ago. We still complaining about that?
And it's stuff that they can change.
Yeah, it's
they'll complain about the type of jobs that they have. And I'm like, well, have you did anything to try and like to elevate the education or get some new skill sets? Have you thought about going back to school or whatever, anything like that? It's like, no, man, they just need to go ahead and pay me that extra $1.50 an hour. I was just like, Well, the extra $1.50 an hour ain't gonna be.
Not by the time they tax it.
Yeah, after taxes, that's not gonna
You're
be
not gonna
anything.
see that
They leave one
$1.
job to go to another job. It pay maybe $2 or $3 more, but your living conditions and how you treat your finances and your mindset hasn't changed. So yeah, you're making maybe a little bit more extra money, but you're still doing all the same thing. You still, for example, if your thing is you go to the club every Saturday and you spend all your money up, well, now you got a job that's paying a little bit more, but you're still going to the club to spend all your money up. Well, you're still broke on Monday. Mm-hmm. So change that up. You know what I mean? But
Like I said, that mentality don't ever change, then you're gonna forever be in that same way. More money not gonna fix that.
no,
You know, it's only gonna intensify what you're already in.
right.
You know what I mean? Because now, you make enough money to where you can go to the club, you can get you a bottle or so.
Right.
Now you make a little bit more money. Now you can go get you 2 bottles. You know what I'm saying? And so now it ain't doing nothing but intensifying the situation that you're already in if your mentality haven't changed.
Right, right.
And that's something I had to learn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I used to think that, going out, spending a whole bunch of money and getting a bottle and doing this, doing that. I thought that was it. I thought that was living, quote unquote, because back where you from, that's what you saw. That was considered living. That was you was the man if you were doing that. If you can go in there, you can get you a section, you can get you a bottle or so. You the man.
Right.
But I realized I got older, you know what I mean? I got off on my own. I started realizing like, yo, bro, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I look back at all the money that I ran through. Like, I look at even when had that little stint in the lead and I got the little signing bonus. I ran through all that money.
Really?
I have nothing I have nothing to show for all the funds that I have put my hand on. Mm-hmm. If I can just have back a fraction of that.
And if you don't mind, what was the signing bonus?
I never went on the record to say what I had. Like I said, at the time, I had $100,000 signing bonus.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? At the time. Mm-hmm. And that was just all, that was mine.
Yeah.
Never disclosed to even family what I had. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? But I had those funds that was given to me, from that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In which I still didn't get all my money because, shit went on with agent, this, that, and the third. So that's a whole nother thing that I still didn't even get all the money that was due to me.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I still, to this day, I'm still owed a pretty little penny that I haven't got. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I firmly believe that individual and that organization not going to have success in life for real until they do right by me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really screwed over. Wow. And at the time, unfortunately, I didn't have nobody around me either to, to help me, miss those things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All I know, I'm signing my name on something that on a 7-figure contract. I've never seen nothing like this before.
Right.
Ain't too many from where I'm from can say they seen this type of numbers on a piece of paper. Like,
even giving that much money in the signing.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, I'm finna, like, what do I sign at? What are we talking about?
It's almost like that rapper signing the contract for the for the record label. It's like, yeah, we're gonna give you X amount of dollars for your album. Well, you never seen that kind of money before. Yeah, boom, 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 give me that money so I can go do what I need to do with it.
But you look at all the fine print in there, like, what they gonna take and what, you know what I mean? So, again, I feel like, that's my fault. I mean, for not knowing. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel
but like you said, you're a young man coming out of college. Do they prep you for any of that stuff when you come out of college? Say, okay, now you're about to go get drafted, or you want a career in professional football. How about taking these courses or talk to these people or whatever, just to kind of give you somewhat of an idea of what you're about to deal with? Do they do anything out there that was for that?
I didn't go through that. The only thing that was provided was, they provide, opportunity for you to meet with different agents and stuff of that nature. Yeah.
But no education on, okay, you about to sit down, no lawyers or anything like that. So these type of contracts they're going to put in front of you. So you just a young man out of school, about to go into the NFL, and here's your opportunity. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And so now you and not making it sound like it's a bad thing for the opportunity that's been given to, the athletes. Mm-hmm. But there's still a sense of y'all don't know what y'all doing.
Nope.
Y'all know how to play the game, but y'all don't know how to navigate the business.
You think about how many times you have heard athletes, man, to this day talk about how many times they got screwed over by agents and stuff of that nature. Mm-hmm. I mean, because a lot of us, man, that come from backgrounds, like a lot of us coming from places where ain't us or nobody in our family ever seen this type of money.
Right.
Not all at one time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I said, I'm coming from Douglas, Georgia, small town. I'm finna sign a multi-million-dollar contract.
Well,
Ain't nobody in my family can ever say they did that.
right.
Not
They
me-
gonna tell. The only advice they tell me is, sign it.
Not many in my hometown can say they've seen that. You know, so where's the education really gonna come from? And so all I'm looking at is, bro, where do I sign at? That's all I care about. I don't care about what's written in there, what's in the clause. At that time, I'm not thinking about none of that.
Right.
What do I sign? I'm looking at, for 3 years you're gonna pay me this, and this. Well, I ain't never seen that type of money. This life changing money. So it's like, give me the pen, give me the paper, and let me sign. Like I signed my contract with the Houston Texans in my grandmother's living room.
Wow.
They sent me the contract. I signed my contract sitting in front of my grandmother and my grandma, because that's why I wanted to sign my NFL contract in the house that I was raised in, brought up in, right there on the street that I was raised up at.
So was the agent there? Was a lawyer there?
My agent didn't make it down. My trainer had came down that was training me for the combine and stuff of that nature. Him and his family was there because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even been ready for that. You know what I mean? And they prepped me a lot for that opportunity. But far as just like the agent and the lawyer, they wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And that should have been a red flag for me, like, because in that moment, my agent should have been there.
Right.
Because he knew when I was receiving that contract. You know what I'm saying? That should have been something that, you're going to make sure that you're there for. But that wasn't the case. Like I said, but at the time, I didn't think about none of that, because all I'm thinking about is, man, I'm finna sign this $1 million contract.
Right.
And like I said, I signed it right there in my grandmother's living room. You know what I mean? I went through and signed, and I sealed the paperwork back up and sent it back to Houston. And I was on the plane in 2 weeks, headed to Houston for rookie minicamp.
So what was so again? You're not even thinking about what you just did, other than I'm about to get this money. Everything that you worked for so far is now being accomplished, right? That's the success right there, right?
Yep.
And so, like you said, you 2 weeks, you heading to Texas to for the team and stuff like that. So what is going through your head at that point? Because you're still a young man.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it's so many more. I'm trying to process like what really just happened. Like,
Right. Because that's 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, you go from no money to money.
Right.
And you on a professional team.
Yep.
Like the world is going to be watching you guys.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like all eyes on you guys. You know what I mean? Like what goes through your head? Like,
Man, and I had so many things even leading up to that. Man, I had so many things on my head, man. Like, because you got to think, like, I also was dealing with things from the outside world, not only the outside world, but from family as well. Right. Maybe you should have went back to college. Man, you should have did this.
Really?
Man, you should have did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things I'm hearing, like, and this coming from individuals that, I'm thinking gonna be there for me. Like, I'm like, yo.
so did you drop out of school or something like that?
No, like, I left a year early.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I left that yet. Like, nobody never took the time to say, hey, why did you, what made you, what prompted you to this decision? What? Because, like, throughout my entire career, I had dealt with different injuries. Okay. You know what I mean? High school, I broke my neck.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I was airlifted. That whole situation, I wasn't ever supposed to play the game again.
Wow.
I was blessed enough to be able to come back from that. I was airlifted twice because that very next year, I hurt my neck. I had another scare over in Brunswick, and I was airlifted off the field. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I came, and I'm going to back up a little bit more for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
My freshman year, I tore my ACL. Come back from that, had the neck injury. Come back from that, and still had an opportunity to go on and play collegiate ball at that next level. Where my freshman year, like I told you, I was already behind the 8 ball because I started late.
Yeah.
The first game of the season, I got a chance to go out there. First drive, my first play, and I'm running out like it's 80,000 plus people out here. I have never seen this many people in a stadium at one time, like up on a Saturday night down in Tallahassee, Florida. Like, you got people from everywhere screaming loud. I get a chance to get in the game, and I went to go do a cut block, and I missed the guy. My shoulder went into the ground. So I come off the field, I knew something was wrong with my shoulder. Right. Get to the sideline, they take me in. We'll come to find out I tore my labrum in my left shoulder.
Wow.
So freshman year, first game of the season is gone. Because I had to have surgery a few days later. So I ended up redshirting. So all of these things, you know what I mean, all these injuries are piling up. And anybody that's ever had like major stuff, like I done been my knee, I got screw in my knee, screw in my shoulder. I had this major neck injury that, I was blessed to come back from. So it's been injury after injury after injury, and everybody that knows that's played sports, eventually those injuries are going to catch up with you.
Right.
So going into my junior year, I transitioned over to defense. That was the first year I went a whole year, zero injuries, and I also had one of the better years of my football career. And so I'm sitting there thinking, and at this time, I just found out I'm about to have a little girl as well. So all these things, now I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, I had injury after injury after injury. I never know when that next moment gonna come. Now I'm in a position to where I'm finna be a parent, a father. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, what should I do? You know what I mean? Should I leave? Should I stay? I talked to a few people and I end up talking to different agents. Like, hey man, like this is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been the star player, but I have film, I have tape, my upside is very high. What do you think? I was able to get with this agency. They able to send my film off. Got my draft grade back, and you know what I'm saying. It was had me projected to be drafted. You know what I'm saying, fourth through sixth round. You know what I'm saying. I was like, well, shoot, I just want to get in.
Right.
I don't got to be first round. If I can get,
Just sign me to a team.
You know what I'm saying. I can do the rest from there. I just need to get in.
Right.
And so at that moment, I was like, man, I was talking to my old college roommate. I was like, bro, this is what I'm finna do, man. Like, this is where I'm at with it. Like, because like I said, every year of my career, I had an injury.
So were you thinking like I need to hurry up and get into the league before something really bad happened to me?
That was my mindset.
Okay.
And like I say, that's what drove me to that point. And that's another thing that was very frustrating for me because I never really had nobody to sit down and say, you know what I'm saying, what drove us to this? Where we at with this? You know what I'm saying? They kind of got an understanding of where I'm at. Like, okay, I understand. So, understands that, if this don't work out, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? We having like a real genuine conversation.
Right.
I had that with one individual, man, and I still thank him to this day. He pulled up on me at my grandma's house and he was like, hey, he's a guy that's from my hometown. He had opportunity to go on to play collegiate ball and had an opportunity to, see what that next level was like, and so he pulled up on me. He was like, hey, I heard about the decision, what drove you to the decision and, where we at with it. So I told him about it, same thing I'm telling you for the injury things. Then I told him, like, all that failed, man, I'm going to still go back and finish my schooling. If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to go back and finish my schooling. That's another thing that Florida State offered that, I'm grateful for that program is they offered former athletes that left to go on to play collegiate ball. They offered them the opportunity to come back and finish their degree.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, for free.
Oh, really?
So I didn't have to pay to go back.
Okay.
You know what I
And
mean?
you did go back.
I still finished on with my scholarship money that I had when I left.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And so it was like, if this don't work out, I'm going to still go back and finish this. And then as I'm doing that, I'm going to kind of figure out what's next. But right now, my focus is I'm healthy. I got an opportunity. I got to take it.
Right.
Because I just don't know what's next. Like I said, I've had many of scares where I thought my career was over. You know what I mean? But it's like now I finally have had a completely healthy season. I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. It's like now is the time.
Right.
And that's just truly what I felt in my heart. Like now is the time.
So was a lot of that. So a lot of that had to be like fear. Then like I need to hurry up and the anxiety of I need to hurry up and get signed so I can go ahead and have not just a career of being in the game, but the financial security. You know what I mean? So you could have that money like, okay, well, if it doesn't work out, at least I got this to where I can go and invest or create businesses or whatever the opportunity that money can bring for me.
And that was definitely my mentality and my mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I made that decision to leave when I left. You know what I mean? It wasn't for no other reason. Like, it was strictly for that. You know what I mean? I saw an opportunity to, you know what I mean, if I don't have much longer in this game, at least I'll be financially in a position to where I can set myself up for, you know what I mean, something else. And also be able to set up, you know what I mean, for my kids and their kids. Like, that was my mentality when I'm making this decision. Because who's to say if I would have came back that next year and
Something happened.
Something happened.
So
Now I'm dealing with regret of I shoulda.
right.
Not saying that would have been the case, but if you go back and look at my career, every single year I dealt with injury.
Yeah.
Some type of injury every year from middle school all the way up. Like, so this is something I've had to battle with mentally as well. Like, I don't know what tomorrow my career could be gone.
So what? So from high school in college, you having these injuries. What's compelling you? From college to the NFL, I get that part, the financial, right? But you're in freshman year of college, and even in high school, you having these injuries, and now you see that the vulnerability of, man, this next game I can tear something, I can break to where I can't play at all. So what kept you to still keep taking those chances? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, with me, if I had broke my leg in high school, I'd be like, well, shit, this sport ain't for me. Like, hey, let me go see what else I can do, because this hurt.
Because I mean, I grew up in that. Also, I'm from a small town. Like I said, I grew up with that mentality: it's either rap, shoot, ball, or hustle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I knew I didn't want to hustle. I knew I wasn't a rapper. So ball was my only chance to change my situation. So that's what kept me going. It's like, yo, if you want to get out of this situation and give yourself a chance at something else, this is your ticket. This is your opportunity.
Despite the industry.
So for
injuries,
me, yeah. So it was like, yo,
chances. I'm gonna take these chances.
I die trying. Yeah. Like I that was literally my mind. I used to always say that I'd rather die on the field.
So in high school, you broke your neck, right? That right there would have, for anybody, would have been a stopping point.
Yeah.
The stopping point. You got airlifted. That was the stopping point, and you said, "Nah, I'm going back in."
Yeah, even when they gave me my timeline of when I could possibly be back, I set up my mind like when I got my back home, I was telling my athletic trainer and my weightlifting coach, I'm gonna beat that timetable. So if they say I'm gonna be back in 10 months, I'm gonna be back in 6. Whatever we gotta do, I gotta beat that, because
and this ain't even the money yet. This is just high school.
Yeah, I gotta get back to the field, man. Like, this happened in the season, but I was back practicing for spring ball that next year.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
still having the complications and stuff?
Like, you know, I mean, I had, like I said, end up being a hairline fracture. Whatever happened miraculously changed from the time I was airlifted, because when I got to the hospital, they were like, his neck is broke. We got to get him out of here. So they instantly, prepped me and got me ready to be airlifted. So when I got to Savannah, I went to Jacksonville. When they got me to Jacksonville, they took me back. They running all kind of tests, this, that, and the third. So by that time, my family had done got there the next morning. The doctor came in after they done took me back, had X-rays, CT scans, all that. The doctor came in and said, well, I got some good news and bad news. So my family there, my grandmother sitting on my side. He like, well, I just want to tell you that you're lucky. My grandmother instantly like, no, he's not lucky, he blessed. He like, well, what we saw last night is not what we see today. All we see now is a hairline fracture between your C5 and C6 vertebrae. So it went from, a broken neck to a hairline fracture. Still, I mean, that's still major. Like, you talking about a fracture in your vertebrae. Right. You know what I mean? Which is enough to any wrong movement could mess you up for the rest of your life.
Paralyzed.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, this is what you're dealing with. I can't promise when you'll be able to go back to this game, or if you'll be able to go back to this game. But, this is what you're dealing with. We're going to put you in a hard neck brace. You have to wear that for like 6 months. And, we're going to allow you to go home. At the end of the day, I had to go back and forth to Savannah for like 4 or 5 weeks straight, because I was having to go see a specialist over there. You know what I mean? So those are some of the things I dealt with. But I also, in the meantime of that happened on the Friday before that following Friday, we had a game over there in Lowndes County. And I was like, I'm going to see my team play. My mom and all them was like, no, you just like, you walking around with a neck brace on. Right. But I'm like, no, I'm going to see my team play. And that was more so for me, the mentality of, I want them to see that I'm good. That I want y'all to keep fighting. Right. I'm going to be straight, because I'm going to be back. Right. That was my mentality. I'm going to be back. I know what the doctor said, but you know what I'm saying? The doctor ain't God either. Right. And so, but the love that I have is, like I say, they looking at it from the perspective of a game. I'm looking at, this is my livelihood. This is my opportunity out.
Right.
If I don't do this, what am I gonna do?
Right.
That's how I saw it. Like, where's my life gonna be if this don't work out for me? I'm gonna end up, you know what I'm saying, running the streets with some of the people I used to run with. That's still running the streets,
Right.
either in and out of jail, out here having a whole bunch of babies and can't take care of them. Like, I didn't want that for myself. You know what I mean? I saw that in the community that I grew up in. I didn't want that for myself. And I knew, like I said, this was my golden ticket out of here. At least to give me an opportunity to see if it was something else out there for me.
Right.
So that's what drove me to, you know what I mean? Like I said, even this before the money aspect came in, I just knew this was an opportunity to get out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't even thinking about money and all that. Yeah, I just know I want an opportunity and I want something different than what I've been seeing every day. I don't want to be around here doing this. I don't want to be around here still talking about high school stories at the tree 10 years later.
Because even the guys that haven't had major injuries, once they graduate high school and don't have an opportunity to go to college, those are the only war stories they have is when they was in high school.
You know
high
what I
school
mean?
ball. And that was it.
We arguing about who was the best in high school. Who gives a shit? I don't know, but like, who gives a shit?
Right.
That's like, nah, they have debates all the time. Like, I don't care to be in a debate.
Right.
I know what I did. I know where I went. Like, it's cool. It's the next person turn now.
Right.
How can I support the next person that's trying to get to that next level?
Right. Right.
It ain't about me anymore. You know what I mean? It was cool what I did. I'm grateful that I was able to do it. But I've always been that one that also I like to pay my respect to the ones that laid the foundation before me.
Right.
You know, that's not me dimming my light because, again, at the end of the day, I'm going to still stand firm in what I did.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going to still stand firm. I feel like I was one of the best at what I did. But, again, that ain't what I wanted my story to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? That ain't, like, now, like, even my little cousins that's coming up that's playing the game. Like, they all might not like it and all might not tell the truth, but one thing they always better know is my cousin persevered through this.
Right.
Or my daddy persevered through this. He had a chance to be at that next level. No, he might didn't play 5, 10, 20, 30 years in the league. But you know how many people just wish to even get to that level?
Yeah.
We ain't even going to talk about NFL. You know how many people wish they can get to the level of a Florida State, Georgia, and all that?
Yeah.
You know how many people wish to have that opportunity?
A lot of people, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had an opportunity to do it, and that for me, that's what it's about. It was being able to show the ones coming behind me that you can do it. If I did it, you can do the same thing, and you can do it even better.
And that's the thing coming from the towns that we grew up in. Again, the only thing that they, inspired to do is what's at arm's length.
That's it.
Like you said, if the dope guy's on the corner and that's what they see every day, well, I know that that's a real thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If going to work at the warehouse or Walmart or whatever, which is not bad, but if I know that that's the thing that I see every day, well, that's possible. I already know what that is.
Right.
So if they don't see anything else, it's like, well, what I'm going to strive for? That's not a real thing. I know people out there are doing that, but I don't see it. I don't physically see it.
Right.
And for you to show people back home, like, oh, wait a minute, somebody that we know who from our hometown can actually go to college, play the game on the large scale, and play the game in the professional league. Which I guess, yeah, we could do that too because it's something that's real.
Right. Yeah. And that's been my whole mentality, man. That was really what I wanted, man, outside of being able to financially set myself up, man. That's what it was about for me, man. Just being able to show others that, this is obtainable. This is something that's within your reach as well. Right. If it's something that you're willing to sacrifice for. Because for me, it was a real sacrifice.
Yeah, man.
I sacrificed my body week in and week out for these opportunities.
And that's not even over with now. Like, as you get older, you're going to have...
I'm still dealing with it. It's like now, bro, I go to the chiropractor weekly now. I just started, I go to the chiropractor weekly now. I'm having problems with my sciatic nerve right now. Oof. You know what I'm saying? So all these things are starting to kick, and I'm only 29 years old. Like, a lot of these things are starting to kick. With this shoulder right here, I got a screw in. This the farthest this shoulder go back.
Oh, really?
I can't really lift it up like I can this one. Which a while back it wasn't like that, but it's gotten stiffer and like I haven't done as much with it. But a lot of things that I was able to do, I can't do now. Every time I get up, my knee popping. Like
with the physical therapy, are they giving you like stuff to do at home to try and get it back to? Okay.
Yeah.
The mobility and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So and it's just more so of me just staying active and being in the gym and doing the things I'm supposed to
Exercising.
do as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, at 29 years old, these are the things I'm already dealing with.
Yeah.
Like neck is always hurting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when the weather change, I can feel it. Like I said, I got screws in my shoulder and my knee.
Wow.
So these are things that I'm actively dealing with at a young age.
Right.
So I tell you, I really sacrifice for this.
Yeah.
I sacrifice for these opportunities. You know what I mean? Though it probably didn't pan out to be what I thought it was going to be, because the reason I'm not playing football right now is because I was diagnosed with a heart condition.
Right. That's what you was telling me the other day.
Yeah, so it's like, again, they found that early on in my career in the NFL, that's something that possibly had been there. That I was just blessed to, navigate through, because these people told me this was something that, at any moment I can pass out and possibly never wake up again.
Damn.
Like the reason that, I was in LA when I found this out. I was out there, doing my physical for the Chargers. I'm out there by myself. My agent not there, family not there. I'm going through all this alone. So when I found out about this, I found out about this by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, these folks gonna tell me.
So no support around you.
No, like, these people gonna telling me basically like, yo, we can't sign you. We're not gonna sign you. We referring you to go see a heart specialist at Emory in Atlanta.
So okay, so so y'all just doing regular physicals, and then they found that, and now you're trying out for them, right? Yeah.
So basically they had, because I thought, I had ended up leaving Washington because I had reached the point in my career. I had just played a Monday night football game. That's what I played.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dang, bro, I just played a national football game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got back to the room that night and I laid in the dark and cried. Now, this is supposed to be one of the most joyous moments of your life. Right. You get on social media, all you see is people posting clips from when they saw you in the game and this, that, and the third. And it's like, dog, I just did that.
Right.
But on the inside, mentally, I was fucked up. Like, cause I had finally felt like I reached that height of my career, but I had also felt like everything that was around me wasn't genuine. I feel like I had reached a point in my career to where I went to where I was playing the game now, not because I loved the game, but because this is what was expected of me.
How long have you been playing before you got to that point?
Well, like I said, I've been playing ball my entire life.
No, I'm talking about professionally. Like you was.
I had it hadn't even been. That was my first game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was my first game. Like, I haven't been there long. That's why I say at this moment I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be celebrating. Like, you just played one of the biggest games of your career. Like, you just played a game on a national football level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But even through all of that, like I said, I don't know at what point that transition, but my mindset had done all these things. Like, reality had started to kick in. You know what I'm saying? I'm realizing, like, okay, this is also a job for me now. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, everybody had these expectations of you now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm still doing it for my own drive, but it's like now all these things are reality is starting to set in.
Right.
Like, dang, bro, this is for real.
Yeah.
And so I had reached a point where I was like, dang, bro, do I still? Now I'm questioning, like, all these different things going through my mind, and now I'm questioning myself, dang, you still doing this for you? You still doing it for the same reason, or you doing it for grandma now? You doing it for auntie now? You doing it for the friends? You doing it for, like, all these different things that start to set in at one time. You know what I'm saying? On top of me also knowing that I got a kid I got to provide for that I just had. All these different things are setting in. There's like so many different emotions are flowing through my mind at one time that I sat in my room, and that next day when I got back to the facility, I literally went up. I talked to my cousin Rakim. That's the only person I had talked to at the moment. I hadn't talked to my agent. I hadn't talked to nobody. And I had told him, like, cuz, I think I'm finna call it quits.
Really?
I kid you not. I wasn't forced out of the NFL. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? This before I, went and found out about it. But I wasn't forced out. I wasn't there no more because they didn't want me there. I had reached a point like, man, I think I'm finna call it quits.
Damn. Okay.
Like, I think I'm finna call it quits. I went up there, I met with the position coach, I met with the head coach, met with the gym, and told him, like, hey, thank y'all for the opportunity. I really enjoyed the little time that I was here. But, mentally, I don't think that just for me no more right now. Just like that.
Because last time you described it, you made it seem like you just like it was a major industry, your heart condition that said, you know what, you can't even play anymore. But
Yeah, I'm saying this before I get to that. So, I was like, you know what? This is from a mental standpoint, I was like, I'm done. I got home. I was content with the decision I had done made. But of course, at the time, my agent, he's calling me. Team, instead of calling, inquiring about me.
Right.
She's like, man, you sure you don't want to do it? And I had a conversation with my aunt, man, and she's an aunt that really have played a big role in my life. And she was just basically telling me, like, just give it one more try. See if it's something that there's something that you
Was
really.
it just the organization, like the team that you wasn't feeling, or just the
I
industry
mean,
altogether?
it was just the industry, and just like I say, just mentally, I wasn't there. I mean, I'm excited, I'm happy, but and so I had them in home for probably about a week or two, and then my agent had called. He was like, "Hey man, LA wants you to come out. They want to sign." I was like, "All right, I go." So I ended up going. I flew out. I got on the flight the very next day after I got off the home with my agent. Flew to LA. Got there, of course, you have to go through your physical and all that, So I'm going through my physical, and as I'm going through that, I got to the last part of my physical, you know what I'm saying? And then I kind of was sitting there waiting on the doctor to come back, and it had been a while before they had came back into the room. And then when they came back into the room, they came in with my EKG report and all that. And that's when they went and asked me, had I ever had any issues with blood pressure? Had I ever been told that, I had anything, heart issues, anything like that? I'm like, no. And that's when they went to tell me about, a syndrome called Brugada. You know what I mean? I have never heard of this before. Didn't know what this was. Again, I'm out there by myself. So I have nobody to sit down and tell me, oh, this what this is, or this what we're looking at. I didn't know none of this. All I know is these people telling me that we're not going to sign you because of this. You know what I mean? It's just too big of a risk, and you need to go see a heart specialist. And they referred me to a heart specialist at Emory here in Atlanta. And at that point, I knew my career was coming to an end due to injury. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of like really wrapped up my football career.
Wow.
Because this was something that, obviously possibly had been there, but had been either missed, overlooked, or whatever that looks like, but now this is what you're dealing with. And don't nobody want to put their hand, because after that happened, of course, it's a business. They all talk to one another.
Right, yeah.
So once this get out, I don't get no more phone calls. Like, no more teams are wanting to put their hand on it, because that's a liability at that point. And if I go out there and something happened to me and they knew I had this issue, shoot, now you talking about a possible lawsuit from family and all that.
Death, all that, yeah.
So, like, nobody wanted to put their hands on that.
So it's almost like a good and a bad thing, because you was already checking out anyway. And so now here's the thing, here's a major situation that's causing you not to be able to play at all anyway. So in your mind, are you kind of like, well, I didn't want to play anymore anyway. Let me go ahead and...
And let me say it like this. I feel like, honestly, had I had that mental support, you know what I mean, that I probably should have had, I feel like I wouldn't even made that decision.
You would have stayed in it?
I'm saying, like, far as when I decided to walk away from it the first time. It's because I had so much pressure on me. I was dealing with so much mentally. I didn't know how to deal with it. Okay. So that's what drove me to that point of like, man, I done made it here. I did that. I'm done. But if I would have had somebody to sit down and say, hey, man, what's going on? Why you feel like that? What's going, like, just to kind of, it made me look at things from a different perspective. Right. I feel like if I would have had that, it made me like, you know what? Okay, maybe I need to look at it this way, or maybe I need to approach it this way, or maybe I need to go seek counseling or therapy, you know what I'm saying? And don't
other
just
options,
get, and then if you still feel that way, then, then okay.
Right.
But I feel like, with all those emotions weighing in at one time and me not having that mental support, that, I just made a decision because I was just mentally depleted. Like, I had so much weighing on me that, I felt like, the only way to alleviate some of that was to step away from this.
Just to walk away.
Yep. So that's just kind of that's where I had gotten to mentally.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was just too much.
Right.
Like the
Now,
pressure was just too much.
so were you hearing things from friends and family that was just like, because again, you hear the stories, you get this contract, you go into the major NFL. It ain't just you that just won. Like your family has won also. So now they're expecting for you to be this provider. Were you getting any of that? That was the pressure, or this was just all stuff that you just that was just in your head?
No, I mean a lot of it wasn't that, you know what I mean, but a lot of it didn't help that, I heard and I saw, you know what I mean, different conversations from individuals that, I expected and I thought was really there for me.
Wow. Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And before I had signed this contract, like these are some of the same individuals that I know had drugged me through the dirt. You shouldn't have did this or you should have did that. If it was me, I would have did this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when all that started to really sit in, because at the time when I'm hearing it, I'm not thinking about it because I'm so focused, driven, like, I got to get there. I got to get there.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm here. Now what? You know what I mean? I get that. I signed this contract. I'm excited. Like, oh, shit, man, I just signed a $1 million contract. Just played in the game. Now what?
So it wasn't just, well, let me just go and just keep playing the game. It was all this other stuff that was coming at you, that the mental pressures, I guess, that you didn't know how to navigate.
I didn't know
on
how to,
that level.
right.
Like you can handle the high school part. You was barely managing, the collegiate part.
Right.
And now here it is, you leave school and go straight to the professional part. And now it's just like you didn't have any training or even know what to do. At
No.
that. That's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Because even during that time, like, like I said, I feel like I was failed by my agents, you know what I'm saying? Something because, like, I feel like I should have been getting coached. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is what they expect. This is what.
So you're talking about more so like life coaching.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have any life coaches to help you navigate through. Like I said, you knew how to play the game, but the business and the life side and the support side is what you didn't get any of that.
I didn't get it like I you know what I'm saying, that I should have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the support I needed, the guidance that I needed, you know what I'm saying, to navigate through this, like I didn't receive that. Cause like I try to tell you, if you've never been at that level, you don't understand the pressure that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like now it's a lot better because you got a lot of these athletes, they been put in a much better situation than they used to be. Like a lot of these kids got, so they have the coaching, they have the trainers that they have to go through because their agencies now are making them go through different coaches and things of that nature to help prepare them for, what's to come. But I didn't have any of that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm dealing with all this weight and all these pressures as I go. And I feel like, it all became a lot at one time.
Right.
Like everything just weighed down on me at one time, and my decision could have been impulsive. That's why I even gave it an opportunity to try it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So I want to say, like, it was a good and a bad thing as far as like your heart, because maybe that was God's way of saying, hey, you're about to go through this mental breakdown. And so let me give you, because you probably wasn't going to stop.
I wasn't.
You wasn't going to stop. You was going to keep going with all the injuries and everything that was going on. So the heart condition, in a way, was kind of like a protection of, hey, you can't even, like, I'm going to put this in a situation where the league ain't even going to bring you in.
Right.
So now that you're out, so now what after that? Like, what do you do? Like, what's your, like, did you have to hurry up and come up with a plan B?
Yeah, honestly, when I came out, that's when I really saw. That's when the depression and everything really got real. Because now, all those things you were hitting before, it is only intensified now.
So all the family, friends, and all the stuff. Like,
see, that's why you should have. This why you should have.
So they was talking bad even when you were successful, but now they intensified when you were not even in the game anymore.
So it's like, bro, this is not what the fuck I need right now.
Right.
Like, this is honestly why I feel like somewhat I'm in this position now.
Right.
Like, bro, that's not what I need. What I need, I don't need you to come rub on my back and console me, but just fucking be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hear
Like,
you.
that's it. See me for me, not just but as this machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm human too.
Right.
You know, I got things I got to figure out too. You know what I'm saying? But that was never the case, which drove me into depression, which drove me into getting extremely drunk all the time, which drove me to, you know what I'm saying, spending excessive money just doing whatever. Like, it was to the point where I used to have to drink myself to sleep every night.
Wow.
This is my early 20s,
Wow.
21, 22 years old. I'm talking about alcohol galore. That's what I lived by. I had to have it in order to be sane, functional.
So the alcohol just like what they would say, like taking drugs and alcohol is really just for you to mask the pain,
That's it.
to numb yourself to the pain.
That's it. Because once I sobered up, I was back to reality. And then on top of that, I'm dealing with having to try to figure out how to provide for a newborn at the time.
Right.
So it's like, now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So for that first full year, bro, I was really just trying to figure it out. Should I go get a job? Or what kind of job should I even do? Like, how do I even go about applying for the job? Like, what?
So you went back to square one.
Yeah.
It was like somebody who just come out of high school, like, okay, now what you want to do with your career?
Because my
Or
entire
do it yourself.
yeah, because my entire thing was based around this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go play football, and it's gonna take care of me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about nothing else outside of that.
Which is what a lot of athletes go through. Like they haven't thought about anything else other like this is
This is
my path and that's it.
yeah. So it was like I don't even know where to start. So again, it's like I didn't have. It's not like I had that somebody to sit me down and, hey, you know, well, what is it that you like doing, or you know what I'm saying, to try to even help me jumpstart. I didn't have it. It wasn't like that. It was, you know what I'm saying, you got to figure something out. You got to get a job. You got to do something.
So
Like,
it kind of go full circle to what we were saying before about people that come from our towns where if they don't see the opportunity to do something else, they're not gonna go out there and do anything else. So that's kind of like what you was going through. You didn't see any other opportunities
nope,
anywhere else.
nope.
So okay, so this is just where I'm at. I gotta figure out behind the 8 ball. I gotta figure everything out.
Yep. And I felt like I was back at square one of what my entire life had been. Like having to figure it out. Like behind the 8 ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I say, even with going to college, I didn't have nobody sit down and say this is what they expect.
Right.
You know, I didn't like. So I'm having to do this with life.
Yeah.
With life.
At least in college, there was somewhat of a guideline to go through. Oh, well, you just take these courses, or you go to
Right.
practice and do this.
You was on a schedule.
Yeah,
You were
but
on
in
a
life
schedule.
there is no schedule. Like you got to make the path to go in a direction based on where am I supposed to go.
Right, right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said, on top of that, I just had a newborn. Like now, this is somebody that's depending on me to
A real dependent.
make these decisions.
Yeah,
Like that's somebody I got to make the right decision for
and you're drinking at the same time.
at the same time.
Wow.
So all of these things, man, is like, if you think about it, bro, my whole journey has been a mental battle
Right.
from the beginning.
So when did you start feeling, or did you recognize you was going through depression? Like at what point did you start like seeing you was getting deep down into that?
I've really found out I was first dealing with depression when I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't really take it as serious. Because again, I'm at Florida State, you know what I mean, playing ball. I done built friends, and you know, it was something that, you know, I didn't really look into because it wasn't nothing that was really talked about.
Right.
That, I mean, I had found myself drinking in, but it was more so of I'm in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You are
Like,
into success.
exactly. But it was once I got to that next level, you know what I mean, and I sat down in that room and I looked around me like, man, what the fuck? Like,
That's crazy that everything that you work for and all the great opportunities that you've gotten still became a burden to you mentally. a mental burden for you.
You as I said like this, you look at all these, you know what I mean, artists, athletes, and just public figures in general that have had and reached what the average person would say, man, they got everything.
Yeah.
But they still end up committing suicide, or you see them strung out, or
On
mentally.
drugs, alcohol, doing all the
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
cope with.
we've accomplished this thing. Yes, we have things, but mentally we fucked up.
Yeah.
And many of us haven't had the people around us to sit us down and kind of, just hear us out for that, because everything around you at that point is they either working for you or they got to stroke your ego or whatever that look like. They got to, you know what I'm saying? So
Because you staying in the game is their livelihood.
Absolutely.
So just imagine if you did have an agent that was really like, hey man, you got to go ahead and keep playing. Or you had, people on the team or in the organization like, hey, but you got to keep on playing. Now, the responsibility or the pressures of, well, I got to keep going no matter how I feel mentally that I can't handle it. Well, I still got to go to practice. I still got to do this. And all these things keep piling on top of you because now the obligation of, well, I'm forced to keep playing this game.
Right. And it's like you said, man, you brought up a great point, man. That I feel like it was all a blessing in disguise, though, man, because I feel like had I kept going in that direction,
Yeah.
two things are going to end up happening. I'm going to have all this money, but I'm going to be fucking out there party. I'm going to be out there I'm going to fuck around and through my life with, because I'm also dealing with these different stresses.
Right.
So, drinking, possibly could have led to drugs or whatever that looked like. Money, women, all of this could have been, something
future.
that took me out of here.
Right.
So I had to, I feel like in a way, be saved for myself also.
Yeah. All while dealing with a heart condition.
Absolutely. So it's like, I gotta do something because I see now like an injury, a stubbed toe, a broken toe ain't gonna stop you. A shoulder scare ain't gonna stop you. A broken neck not gonna stop you. You going through this not gonna stop you. Twice. So you going through this not gonna stop you. So I'm gonna have to put something in place to where if I don't put this in place now, who knows what that road look like 6 months from now.
Right.
Who's to say if I'd have went through that whole season where I'd have been at by the end of that season?
Right. Wow.
Because I'm already dealing with these mental pressures. So now I just got money and I have another level of access to things that I probably wouldn't even have access to beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got to mentally sit you down to build you up, to get you to where you need to be mentally. And then, because I feel like all that is coming back. You know what I mean? All that I was supposed to have, that's coming back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? God is going to put me in a position to get all that back. But this time I will know how to deal with it mentally.
Yeah.
This time I will have the people that I'm supposed to have in my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because beforehand I didn't have none of that. Right. But now, my village is slowly building to what it's supposed to be. Right. And even now, just mentally, that's why I say I can share my story now. I can share my vulnerabilities now, you know what I mean, and not feel no way about it. Because now I look at it as, I used to always say, why me? Why this had to be me? Why this had to be my career?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I was in church one Sunday, one of the guys told me, I kept hearing you say, why you in your testimony, but, God showed me, why not you?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it now. Why not me? I had to be the sacrificial lamb, is what I call it. I had to be that one that went through all of that to where now the next young athlete that's coming up or the next brother that's coming up, I'm able to now be able to speak from a place of experience or something that down there took me out of here. You know what I'm saying? So now I know what that looked like. I might not be in the same exact situation that you're in, but I dealt with something very similar to where, my brother, let's try to take this approach.
So have you started any organizations or anything like that to try to help guide young kids to help them navigate through that? Because it's a lot more behind you that are going through the same exact thing. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not even. Just think about the kids who parents are pushing them to be athletes. They're not even. It's not even their thing, but their parents are just like, "Oh, you got to play ball."
You see that a lot.
You know what I mean? And they're going through all of this at the age of 13, 16, 17. You know what I mean? They haven't yet even developed themselves as a young person. Their mind haven't even developed, but yet they already have the pressures from outside entities. Family members was make it more heartbreaking.
Yes.
That's what, because you would think your mom, your dad, your uncles, whoever's supposed to be more understanding and protect you. But here it is. No, they trying to push you out there because they want your success to be their success as well. Like,
Yep.
no, you gotta make it to the league, because once you're successful, now I can be successful.
Right.
And so these young kids are having that on their shoulders so young. So what do you expect for them to go through when they get older? When, okay, the master pain, I'm just gonna start drinking because that makes everything numb. Drugs make everything numb. Going out and party so I could just for a couple of hours just forget that I got the whole city that wants me to be this big thing, and so on and so forth. And then you have the league and the agents and the organization wants me to be this big thing. And for them, for you guys, it was that dream. It's that dream.
Right.
Like I said, that was the only thing that could get you out of your situation.
Right.
But what happens when that situation, your dream, becomes the thing that's destroying you? What do you do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's exactly where I had gotten to, man. And I didn't quite understand it till years later. My football journey ended in 2018. We here in 2025. And I can, for the first time, wholeheartedly say I finally reached that point in my life to where I feel like I found my calling outside of the game.
Okay.
I feel like I found, my purpose of why I had to go through all that. You know what I mean? And like I said, the game that I love so much is the very same thing that almost took me out of here. It's like now I understand why. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, from 2018 to 2025, it took me just that long to figure it out. Simply because, one, I didn't have that, that brotherhood or that support system that, and which again, I can't be mad at many, because if you ain't never been in that situation, or if you only doing what you've been taught or what you know, and I can't
Right.
I can't fully fault you either.
And then think about the people who, I think we kind of touched on this a little bit as well. Man, what you complaining for? You went to college. They wanted you. You went to the NFL. They wanted you until they, to the condition. What you complaining for, man? I'm working at such and such warehouse, making $23 an hour. You just got signed a multi-million-dollar contract. What you complaining for?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so now people don't want to hear that.
Nope.
They don't want to hear that you depressed. You mean to tell me you got money in your pocket where if you need to get away, well, let me just go ahead and charter this plane and fly down to Florida somewhere for a couple of hours just to get away. And you complaining? I got to stay here and work.
Right.
This job. And I got 8 kids and child support and, 2 or 3 baby mamas that, I can't stand and all this. And you know what I'm saying? So, like you said, they don't understand that pressure, but on the smaller level, they're looking at it like, man, you complaining for what? You know what I mean? But they ain't in your shoes, so they don't understand what that. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. I was just like, man, I couldn't imagine with the little amount of debt that I have, right? Of trying to start a business, me and my wife having a house, so on and so forth. I couldn't imagine being in a situation where I had a business, or in a situation where I would hear some guys talk about how they got this, $2 or $3 million startup money that they, borrowed from investors and all this kind of stuff. And now you got to figure out how you got a $3 million debt on your head that you got to learn how to turn around and make a profit on and then pay people back. I was just like, $3 million. I couldn't fathom understanding, but I'm not on that level to understand how that kind of money would, you know what I'm saying? So if you threw $3 million, if somebody came in here right now and said, hey, okay, here's $3 million, I'm gonna let you borrow so you can go out here and build whatever you need to build, and then start paying me back such and such, I wouldn't have the first clue of where do I even start? Because all I'm thinking about is the pressure of, man, I got to pay back $3 million plus whatever interest is on top of that to pay this person back. Oh, hell no.
Right.
I have no idea what I'll be able to do in that situation. But over time, I would have to, try to train myself slowly. If I knew how to train myself slowly to be able to deal with that, maybe not $3 million, but okay, $3,000. Okay, I know how to navigate that situation. Okay, now whatever my business is growing up to where now I know how to deal with, $200,000 or something like that. Okay, and I know how to navigate the business part of that. And so now if somebody comes to me and I'm just slowly like knowing how to cushion myself if things fall and so on and so forth, to where when I get to the point to where I can deal with $3 million, okay, well that's just I know how to deal with that level now, you know what I mean? But you got put on a situation where you didn't know how to deal with $3 million because you were just used to dealing with no money, to now you're dealing with a $3 million situation. I never dealt with $3 million. What I supposed to do with this?
Right.
Other than spend it, but that's that. And I'm using the money as a metaphor of life and everything altogether.
Absolutely.
It's not just $3 million to spend. It's $3 million to build something.
Right.
To invest, to do this and do that, and I don't know what to do with $3 million. So how do you deal with a $3 million lifestyle or life that nobody gave you any real sit down support of? Okay, well, if you're feeling like that, go and talk to this person. Because when you were saying that they was like, well, the heart condition, we're not gonna take you. The first thing that came to mind when you was explaining all that, I was just like, well, why didn't it offer you like a position on the team, to like some type of coaching position or work in administration or something like we're gonna still keep you in, but we can't have you play, but maybe you can be something else within the organization.
Right.
And I was just like, how come they even offer that type of situation? So if you can't play for them, like, we don't. The value is only if you play.
And again, that's possibly something that could have been talked about or whatever if I had representation there with me to even help me, Like, say if I had my agent there, okay, well, this is a situation we got at hand, we understand that, and we're gonna tackle
Pivot.
that. You know what I'm saying? But is there anything that we can possibly,
Right.
do what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, giving me those options. Like, the first thing that came to my mind after they told me that, after they told me I couldn't play the game no more, first thing I went back to is, man, I knew I shouldn't have came out here. Man, I should have stuck with my first mind. I should have. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I had already made the decision to stop doing this anyway.
Right.
And so now I'm carrying that burden of, well, see, bro, I shouldn't even did this. If I wouldn't have came out here, I wouldn't even had to have this heartbreak or this upset.
Confirmation of doubt was what's going on through your head.
You see what I'm saying? So all these different
Which
things.
is negative.
Right. And so it's like, man, what the fuck, bro? So I just really came all the way out here, bro, for y'all to tell me this. Like, I could have stayed home. I could have been doing whatever I was doing.
Right.
But I came way out here for y'all to basically tell me that I can't play this game anymore anyway. It was just like, shoot, bro. Like, so now that just added on another level of stress that I had already been dealing with.
Right.
Because it's like, now I'm in a position to where now I didn't lead the game because I wanted to lead the game. Now I left the game because I got to lead the game.
Right.
I could have probably navigated better if I'm done on my terms. Like,
right, yeah.
You
It'd
know,
probably been a different mindset. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now I feel like, fuck, I didn't even get to lead the game how I wanted to lead the game.
Right.
I didn't lead the game on my terms. Now I'm leaving the game on some fucking heart condition.
Right.
Like, that's another mental battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not leaving this game because you're like, like I say, I mentally can't handle it. I got to figure my life out, and so many other things that I have made the decision that at the end of the day, if whatever comes with, I know at the end of the day, I'm going to live with the decision that I made.
Right.
It's like when I made the decision to take that step to go to the league, I was comfortable with that because it was a decision that I made.
Right.
Wasn't a decision that nobody made for me, but a decision that I made. So guess what? If it go right or if it go wrong, I can deal with it a little bit better because it was a decision that I made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Versus now you're in a situation where you're dealing with a decision that is really out of your control.
Right. And that's a bad place to be in because you don't, as a man growing up, you want to be like, these are the decisions that I wanted to make for myself.
Right.
And
So
that builds a level of confidence.
Yeah,
Even if
like,
you're walking away from something, that still
I
says, you
can
know
deal
what?
with that a little
I didn't
better.
want to be there.
Right.
So if someone come and debate with you about something, it's like, well, no, I didn't want to play for that team.
Yeah, I made that decision.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Right.
Whether if it was because of, mental or whatever, I made that decision. So I can live with the decisions that I made. You know what I'm saying? I can build and grow from there because I gotta deal with the consequences of my actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to be in a situation to where it's like you can't do this no more because they said you can't do this anymore. Like, so now I'm even playing back in my head to where, damn, how the fuck long that's been there? The other teams overlook that just to be able to sign me, or not? So many, it opens up to a whole
nother question. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that's a whole bunch of other stuff that's just been piled on top of stuff that's already been there. Like, you still got things that what I'm feeling. I know without a doubt those emotions and things I was feeling and dealing with. Those things didn't just start at the high school and collegiate level. Those are things that had started from a childhood. It's just all this stuff have finally built up to where now you're in a situation to where it's like all these stresses are only because at the end of the day you got to realize the devil's still gonna try to attack you.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna do different things like try to play tricks on your mental and all this, that, and the third to kind of get you thrown off the pivot as well.
Right.
So if you're not having that proper guidance or that, you know what I mean, then how do you deal with that?
And I was talking with some guys yesterday. We was having a conversation about how as young men we dealing with so many pressures that we keep bottled up inside of us just on everyday life situations. And now as we go on in life, not knowing about the trauma that we experience, not knowing about stresses and, that we've had our whole lives as just young kids, now we make decisions or we get ourselves in situations where now we're just piling on more stuff on more stuff on more stuff. Now we recognize those, but we don't recognize the trauma and the pressures that we have just everyday life. We don't even recognize that because that's just how we live.
That's just how we live.
You know what I mean? But then when you add on all that other stuff, now it's just more weight. And we're like, wait, hold on. Why is all this stuff?
Why do I even feel like
Why
this?
do I feel like this? And it was just like, well, from age 5 all the way up to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, where you've already had pressures on you.
Right.
This is just all added stuff now, and it's exposing all of that now.
Yep.
And so it's almost like you learning about your trauma all last minute, all at the same time. You're just like, whoa, where did this come from? Like you said, you was in your hotel room. You supposed to be jovial. You supposed to have been happy. You supposed to have been celebrating with your teammates and all that kind of stuff. And here it is, you're crying in there because you feel like something is wrong.
Yep.
And not knowing at the time, but you already had stress on you. You already had depression on you. You had already had all that stuff on you, trauma and all that kind of stuff when you was younger.
Yep.
And now the success that you're going through at that time is just exposing all of that.
That's it. And so, man, that's why I say, man, it was all a blessing, man. It was all a blessing. And when I look back on it, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of times it's something that I can get emotional about simply because, like I say, like my life, I was spared, you know what I'm saying? Like I had reached this level, man, that I thought was the height of my career. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I started going to therapy and started going to counseling that I realized that I had a bigger issue. A lot of times we deal with situations as they come, but if we don't ever deal with the root of a lot of stuff,
right,
then it's just like anything, it's just gonna keep growing.
Yeah,
because you got some things you got to attack and cut off at the root.
Right.
And that's what counseling and therapy helped me do. Like it helped me deal with some of those things I didn't even realize was there. Yeah. Like I said, I grew up and didn't have my biological father in the house.
Right.
I didn't realize how that fucked with me mentally, you know what I mean, until I started going to these counseling sessions. And, of course, that's what they train to do. And they start hitting these different things. And I'm having conversations. And it's like, fuck, I never realized that was an issue for me.
Right.
I didn't realize that, that was an issue for me.
Yeah. Because it's deep within our culture and deep within our family, and so we grow up with that. So we're desensitized to it. We don't even think it's a thing for it to be bad. It's just like if for the kid that grew up with a very abusive father, right, or a very abusive parents, they grew up in it. So it's just that thing that's how you do until you're in another environment where they start saying, well, they really don't supposed to be hitting you with the iron to your face. And you're just like, nah, that's just how they discipline me.
Right.
That's the culture of my father did it to me, grandfather did it to him, great grandfather did it to him. That's just how men beat their kids. It's just like, but no, that's abuse.
Right.
Well, I didn't know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until we're in this society now where that first time you discipline your kid and you pick up that iron to try to hit him, and you're just like, wait, hold on. I'm about to hit my kid with an iron?
Yep.
Nah, that ain't, something going on. Like, nah, that's not supposed to be that.
Right.
It's not supposed to be like that. So now that you recognizing all that and you're realizing that a change need to be happen. So where are you at right now? Because I know you was talking about your book and things like that.
So man, I've come a long way, man, and I give a lot of that credit to my support system, my village that I have around me now, and definitely give a lot of credit to my woman, man. We've been together 4 years now, and like that has really been a blessing to me. Because even with being in that relationship, man, it's helped me identify some things also that I didn't realize was an issue for me.
right.
You know what I mean? And it, being with somebody that, that grew up different from what I grew up, you know what I mean, is, it's also that individual had to learn how to love me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in that, it taught me to where I had to learn how to love me properly. And also, I learned that it was a healthier way to do things, to love, to, open up, to do all of these different things. Like, and that's where I've been at in this. Like, it's helped me now to be able to open up with when I'm dealing with something. It's helped me to understand that, it's okay not to be Superman all the time. That you're human, that you have emotions, you have feelings, you have all of that. You know what I mean? So if you need a moment to go cry or whatever, do it. If you need to, whatever that looks like, do it and don't feel bad about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now that I've reached that point, man, it's just like now, that's why I'm a huge advocate for men and people in general. It ain't even just got to be men, but individuals in general going and seeking counseling, seeking therapy. Whether it's something wrong with you, or you feel like something wrong with you or not, because like I said, I found out a lot of things that I didn't even realize was there that, we feel like it's normal because that's what it's been. But a lot of those things have been what's causing a lot of the stresses in your life today. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that, I have been proactively, doing and pushing because I know how important it is. So for me, now I've had a chance to write a book called The Ragged Truths of a Righteous Man. And when you think about the word ragged, you think about raggedy, old, torn, like just raggedy, like, man, that stuff raggedy.
Yeah.
But, and then you got the righteous truth. I mean, the ragged truths of a righteous man, you know what I mean? So also behind all that ugliness and all those different things, there's still a righteous man in there. There's still, somebody, a stand-up guy that has so much more to offer. You know what I mean? And in that book, I gave, a glimpse of a memoir of my life. You know what I mean? And that was just the beginning.
Right.
That was my first time even doing that. You know what I mean? What I'm working on now is going to be even greater than that. I'm going to go even more into greater detail about those things. Because like I said, even when I was doing that book, it went from me journaling.
Okay.
That book came from me journaling.
Right.
Just about getting everything out that I had been feeling, everything I had dealt with. And it was, it was put into a book.
Right.
But now, what I'm working on now is not only talking about those things I dealt with, but how did I deal with them and what I did to overcome them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now we're going a step deeper because I've reached that point also. Now I feel, okay, we can dive a little bit deeper now. Because even a lot of people that read the book, they're like, I feel like it was a cliffhanger. You left like, what's next? Like, it's kind of like you left us with I know it's some more there. Like, you talked about this, but you didn't really go
Deep into it.
all the way into this, so I know it's some more.
But like you said, it was you're still learning how to talk about that stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's a skill. I say it's a skill set, but that's the thing that you're trying to learn how to do as well, because it's still a sense of therapy for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because the release is something that not just a man, but just people in period don't know how to do. You know what I mean? Like, we have, like, men, we grow up with learning how to deal with aggression relief, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we know how to release pressure through aggression, but not emotionally.
Yep.
So, for you, without even knowing, it was, when you was on the field and you hit that man, or you running the ball, or whatever the case, even sexual aggression. Like, if I'm stressed, well, I know I'm gonna go sleep with old girl and get that nut off, and I'm good after that. You know what I mean? But it doesn't solve the situation.
And that's crazy that you say that, because that's what I've always said football was for me. And that's another reason when I lost that, I didn't know how to deal with what I was dealing with. Because for me, I knew when I went out here on this field, I had a chance to fuck somebody up, and I can do it without getting in trouble about it.
Right, yeah.
I was able to go out and release all this rage. You know what I mean? I might have been having the most stressful day ever. But I know when I get to practice, I get to hit either that fucking dummy or I get to hit somebody else. But I get to take this aggression out on somebody of what I'm dealing with.
Right. And it's almost like a drug in itself. It's almost like the alcohol.
Yep.
I can hit it and I can get the aggression out, but I didn't solve the situation.
I didn't solve the situation. But in that moment, I felt better.
Right.
In that moment.
Right.
Situation didn't go nowhere. What I'm dealing with didn't go nowhere. But in this moment, I feel good as fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? For these next few hours, I feel great. Now, who's say when I go home and lay down, when I wake up in the morning, it's still going to be there.
Right.
That thing is still going to be there. That stressor is still going to be there.
Yeah.
But I know in the moment, this was my outlet. You know what I mean? And of course, when I wasn't doing this, I can go drink.
Right.
But it was like that, you know what I mean? That instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew in this moment that this would numb whatever I was dealing with. So imagine now also this was like your outlet. This was your therapy. And then again, once that's gone, now how you deal with that?
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna drink.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna deal with that. It's simple. I'm gonna drink it away for the moment. Once I'm sober, I'm gonna be sick as shit. Not only am I sick as shit, but I'm still dealing with that problem. So I'm hungover and still dealing with that problem.
Wow.
So I had to learn healthy alternatives, man, to deal with what I was dealing with. And now I've reached the point where I've also, like, for me, like I said, I grew up with my grandparents. I mean, I lost both of my grandparents this year within 8 months apart. But now I have learned to give myself grace. You know what I mean? And that's not only with that, but just with everything I deal with in life. I allow myself to have those moments. Like I said, I have moments where I can be driving and I just break down. But I give myself that grace to have those moments now.
And that's the thing that I'm glad you said it, because that's the thing that we need to start doing, is learn how to forgive ourselves. Like, I made a wrong decision. I didn't. It didn't pan out for me like I thought it would, and to say that's okay. That's okay. That's okay that I didn't. Okay, I didn't treat that woman right. I didn't do right by her, or that job. I just left the job, and I made some mistakes, and boom. Okay. Let me learn how to forgive myself, and hopefully, if I'd wronged anybody, turn around and, apologize to them, whether they accept it or not. At least I was man enough to admit that and go and, like, say, hey, I was wrong about what I did. You know what I mean? And just giving yourself the grace and learning how to forgive yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because I realized that's a lot of what I was dealing with as well, man. I had so much anger and guilt built up that, I had to learn how to not only forgive individuals, but I had to learn how to forgive myself. Because I realized in those moments that I wasn't only doing it for them, but I was doing it for myself. You know what I mean? And like you say, you can forgive somebody or whatever the case may be, but if you ain't forgave yourself, you're still going to deal with that.
Right.
Not saying that, you won't think about it, but it when the situation come up, you won't get all tensed up about it. You won't, you know what I'm saying? It make you feel some type of way. When they come up, be like, oh, yeah, damn, that happened. I hate that. But it's water under the bridge. It's water off my back at this point.
Right.
It ain't, time it come up, it changed your whole mood. You think about a lot of people that, they say, oh, I forgive. But as soon as that thing come up, it changes your whole mood. you have never forgiven yourself if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because if you had,
It wouldn't affect you.
it wouldn't affect you to that point to where it changes your whole mood.
Right.
Like if it changes your mood, then you still got some work to do.
Right.
And that's another thing I realized, as I've learned as I'm growing, like, a lot of things, like, so you got to give yourself grace, man. Give yourself that opportunity to free yourself of whatever that thing is, because you got to think that's not fair to you.
Mm-hmm.
You so busy worried about them, but what about you? Because if you don't take care of yourself and your temper and your mental, then how are you going to be anything else for anybody else?
Right. And then, like you said, having kids, all this stuff has been passed on in some shape, form, or way down to them as well.
And that was one thing that I said, that I don't care what I have to sacrifice, what I have to do. That's something I would not continue to pass on to my kids. Again, because they're going to have to deal with their own stresses in life as they grow anyway.
Right.
But if I can help try to alleviate this,
Right.
that's what I'm going to do. If that means me sacrificing, trying to be macho, man, and you know what I mean, and giving myself grace and dealing with myself, that's what I'm going to do. And that's been a focal and a driving point for me. I have 2 girls. And I feel like, dang, God, you gave me girls?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, girls.
So you're forced to be that little bit of softer side of yourself.
Yeah, so it's like, it taught me, it made me tap into another side that I didn't even realize was there. You know what I mean? I had to learn to deal with my emotions differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Patience and all that kind of stuff,
because also, like I said, when I do have that son one day, it's also now I'm going to know how to love and, be there for that son. Have that patience with my son. It's not going to be no, oh, man, shut up, get up, you a boy. Right. Now, like I have even said, like, I'm not going to force my kid to play ball because I play ball. Right. But I want to present my kid with opportunities because I realize there's so much out here more. Like, just because I played ball and I was good at, that might not be what he might be good at, but I mean, that's what he want to do. So I'm not going to force him to do that. You know what I mean? Just because he's a boy, I'm not going to tell him, oh, you can't be emotional.
Right.
No. Feel what you're feeling. And we're going to figure out how to get through this together.
And learning that balance between the two. Because at some point, you still have to be like, all right, you need to get up and pick yourself up and learn how to keep going now. But,
Absolutely.
If it keeps happening, okay, why does it keep happening? Sit down, let's talk.
Right.
Why you keep making these decisions that's causing these things to happen.
Absolutely. Like you say, you got to have that balance, man. I think that's something that's really missing.
Right.
In households today. You know what I mean? People are like, man, these young boys, they this, they that. But they didn't, a lot of them ain't got that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you realize, and I've also realized a lot of those more that people think are bad or in the streets, sometimes if you sit down and have a conversation with them, you realize that this kid probably, he really ain't that bad. Yeah, he's done some dumb stuff and he's, in certain situations, but that's because that's all he knew.
Right.
Nobody has sat down and tried to properly understand that kid. Right. I'm not saying that's the case for all, but for the most part, after a person think because I said something to you 1 or 2 times or even 3 times, that
is
man,
all of a sudden everything.
Yeah,
because
I done told him. But a lot of times, but think about how many times somebody had to tell you something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like whether it was in a relationship or what.
And it's not like you telling them something that, like you said, you told them 2 or 3 times, and they probably get it, but then they still got to go back to their neighborhood and deal with all that same stuff. And that's the only way they know how to deal with it.
Right.
So you're telling a kid, oh, you shouldn't be fighting in school. Go to your teachers and tell them what's going on, so on and so forth. Okay, they did that, but then they still got to go back, and that the bully's still messing with them. And it's not even in school. Now they walking home and the bully messing with them. Now they on the bus and the bully messing with them. Now they in the neighborhood hanging out with their friends somewhere, skating rink or whatever, and the bully and is there at the skating rink. They can't just, walk away from there because now the bully chasing them. Now the bully trying to put his hands on them and all that kind of stuff. So they still in the environment, even though you told them the right thing and they got it and they understood, but they're still in an environment where they still have to interact with all of that situation as well.
Right.
So it might not be as easier said than done to where they could be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just not going to deal with the bully. Well, you just can't deal with the bully in school. You can avoid that situation in school, but all the other elements, all the other environments, they still have to deal with that situation too, man.
Man, that was me, man. When I made the conscious decision to get away from the environment that I was once in, I again, you're gonna encounter issues everywhere you go. It's gonna have its own little test, but I made it, a focal point in my life to where I got away from that energy. Now my kid is here with me, but that's because I wanted to give my kid an opportunity to one, see something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And two, like, not feel like this is something that you have to do. Like, now, if you decided 10 years from now that you want to go back and Douglas want to be what you do, then, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to support you. I'm going to be there for you. But I want to put you in a situation so where you see you have so many more different opportunities. You know what I mean? And that was me making a sacrifice to, I don't know how I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do, but you know what I mean? It's all worked out.
Right.
But I'm going to give my kid that, I'm going to make the sacrifice to be able to give my kid that opportunity to see that there's much more out here. And that's like to this day, you know how many times I had to tell my daughter the same thing over and over and over? At first I used to be like, bro, come on, I done said that 10 times already. But I also had to realize, like, hold up, that was you at one point. You know what I mean? That was just you. And even as an adult sometimes. Like, there's some things that my woman had to tell me multiple times. Like, I mean, but, imagine if you had somebody that showed you that grace, you know what I'm saying, throughout your life. You know what I mean? It give you a different outlook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, people think just because you're an adult that your issues and things stop. No, I still have my village now. I have my times where I get out. I've had times where I came up here with the boys and we sat right over there and had real conversations. All of us boo crying right here in the cigar bank. But that's the circle I'm in now, because even us as grown individuals, like when we leave out of here, we got to, you know what I'm saying, make sure we got to go back home. We got to make sure we take care of everything else. But this is our moment this is our village to let it out to, hey,
council.
Man, yeah. We got to sharpen each other.
Yeah.
Because we still need it as well, even as adults. You know what I'm saying? We still need that, you know what I'm saying, that push, that love, that encouragement, that, you know what I'm saying, we might not require it as much,
Right.
but we
But
still
it still
need
comes
that.
out from
Yeah,
time to
because
time.
like I said, we still human.
Yeah.
Now, we all human. We all have things that we deal with. And like I said, if you don't properly deal with it, that leads to, okay, if people be like, oh man, this person they have to do this or that person did that. It's like Adrian, when I was at Florida State, he came down and talked to us at Florida State. The situation came out with him and this girl got into that situation in the elevator.
You talking about, was it,
Ray, was it Ray Rice? No,
no, not Ray Rice.
The football player, man.
I know what you're talking about, that the elevator was caught on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up good, but he came down and he talked to us about that. You know what I'm saying? And he just talked about how in that moment, like I say, he lost his NFL career behind that. You know what I'm saying? But how in that moment wasn't just that moment. Those were things that had them built up, and you reacted in that moment because, of course, not alcohol involved. You know what I'm saying? And all these different emotions involved. And it causes you to do something in a moment, and by the time you realize what you've done, it's too late.
It's too late. And the whole social media so they don't judge you now.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And guess what?
They judge you and they convicted you. So now you got to deal with the aftermath of that.
Exactly. So now you and this woman is still married, still together. Y'all going to counseling, doing all the things to work, but all that you work for is gone. All because you've never properly dealt with issues or things that, you know what I'm saying, you're dealing with.
Right.
Like even things within your relationship, you have never dealt with things properly.
Right.
And that's one of the things I just, I want to get out to people, man. Whatever you're dealing with mentally, man, just try to deal with it. And not only deal with it in the moment, but deal with the root of whatever is, you know what I'm saying, is going on.
Have you thought about putting any organizations together to help young athletes navigate through a lot of this stuff? Or have you talked to any?
I'm actually working on a project now that I hope to have launched in 2026.
Okay.
I've already pretty much wrote out the blueprint. I got everything down. Of course, still, working on it. Keeping it real close right now, talking to certain individuals, trying to get things completed, get the foundation laid. But I definitely, that's definitely something I'm going towards, and I'm going to attack real aggressively, what I mean, because it's something that's needed, and it's something that I have a passion for.
Yeah.
Like something I say, I feel like I found my passion. It's something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that, To me, I don't feel like it's work, it's forced, it's something that's naturally, it comes naturally, and it's also something that, I get a joy of doing. Simply because I get a chance to possibly help save another individual from dealing with what I possibly dealt with or what the next person dealt with. Or,
Right.
I mean, it's just like you creating that, that whole new family of individuals that, they might can't go over here and get it, but they know that they can come to this circle or this organization and get everything that they need.
Right.
So now they can go and be everything they need to be over here because they have properly dealt with whatever they needed to deal with over
And
here.
that's the thing that's not going on a lot of, like, it's not happening a lot for young men to actually be able to go to the elders and talk with someone that can help them navigate. Like, here's the opportunities, but there's no guidance. So so what do they do? Who do they
Right.
talk to about those type of situations? You know what I
Right.
mean? So that was the thing that I always, like. That's why I wanted to ask that question, because the opportunities to play and to be the athletes that they want to be is always going to be there, but the opportunity, the counsel for the proper guidance is not a multi-million-dollar business, so nobody's thinking about trying to put something like that together. So that has to be something that individuals like yourself or people who played the game, who are in the game, can start, like, okay, we're going to help usher these young men and women to, like, hey, we're going to show you how you can navigate internally.
You got to think it's not a multi-million-dollar business because a lot of people don't want you to know that, you know what I mean, that these things are a reality or it's more to you than just this.
And then a lot of them look at it like, well, hey, that's your problem. Like, you got to learn. Okay, we give you the opportunity to come play ball, and we'll play you. We'll pay you all these, based on how they value you, right? But all that other stuff, that's
up
on
to
you
you to figure out.
Yeah, you got to figure that out. We
So-
just need you to come and play the game.
Yeah, it's just building that thing and making it something that, individuals see and feel that, okay, it's okay to, you know what I'm saying, be this way. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to, you know what I mean? It's just now you're pushing it and promoting it even more. Not only just talking about it when something come up, because now if you see an athlete take their life, oh, we got to start prioritizing mental health. And probably about a few weeks later after that's gone and died down, you hear no more
You
about
hear
it.
nothing else about it.
It's on to the next conversation of
They just
gossip.
check the box, and that's it.
Yeah. So it's like, no, this is something that you got to continue to actively push
Yeah,
to make individuals like, okay, maybe I need to go invest in this.
yeah.
Like I said, I got millions of dollars, but I'm out of way. I need to go invest into my mental. I need to go invest into these different things, even if you don't have those millions. You know what I'm saying? Like helping these kids, navigate these different things to where now when they get to these situations, they're able to better manage what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Versus getting there now, you trying to learn this on top of learning everything else,
Right.
which is what I had to do. You know what I'm
And
saying?
not just young athletes, but just men in period.
People
Just
in
men,
general.
period.
Yeah.
Just knowing how to navigate life. You know what I mean? We keep everything so close to the chest, and the ego of, nah, I got this,
Right.
always pop up, like, oh, I ain't finna ask no questions or whatever the case. I ain't about to go talk to nobody. I don't want to seem like I'm a punk in front of nobody. So I'm just going to keep it all inside. And next thing you know, they have heart attacks or whatever the
Yep.
case may be, or they make the wrong decision and shoot somebody or whatever the case. Now your whole life gone when it was just a simple question you could have asked somebody. And they could have said, no, you ain't got to do that. You can just do this and this and this.
Right.
You'd be like, damn, I could have just. But then, like you said, after the fact, then that's when all of the, damn, yeah, I should have left her alone, or I shouldn't have made that decision. I shouldn't have drove. I knew I shouldn't have drove, but I did it anyway. Like all that stuff come after the fact.
Yeah, after the fact. And then that's when they seem like that's when your most counsel come.
Yeah,
Everybody got it. You got some advice for you then.
yeah.
Everybody
Hindsight,
got,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Everybody got a shoulda, woulda, coulda then if it was me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Well, what about, because you got individuals that's done seen shit leading up to this point, but you have not once said anything.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? You have seen this person as somewhat possibly spiraling out of control, but then because there's been signs, especially if there's somebody that, if there's supposed to be somebody that's in your circle or somebody that you know what I'm saying you have ties to, there will be signs. People that really give a damn about you. They're gonna pay attention to you. They're gonna notice when things are off. They're gonna notice when, you know what I'm saying, nah, don't come trying to counsel me after I done made this decision. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't what I need now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I got to lay in this bed I done made at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I needed that before this.
Yeah.
That could have possibly helped me avoid this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want to. Yeah, you in prison now.
Yeah,
it's just like you could have said something or showed me something or whatever before. Even though I know it was my decision to do it,
absolutely.
But still, everything that you saying to me now could have been said a long time ago.
Yep. And like I said, you don't know how that could have possibly altered my decision making process.
Right.
That could have made me say, you know what, I don't need that one more drink.
Right.
I mean, you know what, I'm gonna just leave this alone. I ain't even gonna keep putting myself in that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least I would have had in my mind, and I would have had like something to think about.
Yeah.
And not saying that many don't have nothing to think about. But again, like I say, me, how I am now, even with my friend group, I might be done had the conversation with a lot of my friends repetitively. Mm-hmm. But that don't mean I'm gonna stop having it.
Right.
Because I've noticed that it's still happening. Mm-hmm. Now, you might get tired of me fucking bringing it up, and I might bring it up 10 different ways.
Right.
But because I know it's something that can possibly help you, I'm going to keep touching on it because I realize a lot of times people need to hear things more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times.
Right.
Sometimes you might have to say something 20 times before it actually click, before that light actually come on like, oh, okay, this is what bro was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, this is what sis was talking about. Okay, I get it now. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, so that's just where I'm at with it, man. And I'm just huge, man, on the mental aspect of things, man. And I'm going to continue to push that, man. I'm going to continue to push people to take care of their mental, man, because without that mental, you're nothing, right? Like, if that mentality don't ever change, if you don't take care of this up here, they always say if you want to kill something, what? Cut the head. Right. So if you don't take care of this up here, then you are already behind.
So you say you're working on a book now?
Yes,
You got a title? Or
I haven't released nothing yet.
But you're just working on it.
But yeah, I mean, I have a title and all that. You know what I mean? But like I said, I just haven't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I haven't. You know what I mean? Put it out on the record yet. But I do have something that will be released here very soon.
Mm-hmm. So other than the book, what else are you working on? Like,
So I'm actually actively working on. You know what I mean? My foundation, my organization that I'm actually building towards this. So I've actually already got the name for that. I got, like I say, the blueprint laid. Now it's just doing a bunch of logistical stuff and things of that nature to get everything to where it needs to be. That's actively what I'm working on now, is building that, because that's what I'm going to go full time and doing in the next year. So
that's what's up.
That's actually
if you need some support, man, just let me know what it is I can do, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. And I'm definitely honored, man, to have had this opportunity to come on to your show, man, and be able to just share a little bit of my story, man, and just kind of be able to have this conversation, because even in this conversation, it's been therapeutic for me.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I mean? I've had the opportunity to come in and just talk about a lot of those things, man, and like I'm comfortable with talking about it. Like I don't feel no type where I'm able to just get out a lot of things, man. And like I said, this been mental for me, man, and be able to come in here, sit here, and talk with, another brother, man, that understands life.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And still trying to figure out life at the same time.
Absolutely. So, it's been a great joy, man, to be able to come on and be able to, share my story on this platform. And I definitely look forward to supporting you and everything you have going on, and man, however I can be an asset to what you're doing, what you're building. And I don't tell people all this all the time, but if it's ever anything I can do to be an asset to that, definitely, man, you have my number. And like I said, we definitely we got a lot of great things to do, man. We got work to do.
Yeah,
I'll say it like that.
Do you ever go back home? I know we talked about it earlier today. We go down there and we shoot right back up, but like, do you do anything or plan on doing some stuff back home?
So right now I host an annual event that I host at home. It's called Coffee Alumni Weekend. So it's basically like a big college homecoming. Okay. But it's for all the people that went to high school there. Man, I have people come from everywhere that haven't been on home in years that come home for that event every year. It's a 4-day event that I host annually that has been a great turnout for the city. It started out with something just ideal. I kind of just did it, and this just my 3rd year doing it. I had it at the beginning of October, and man, what it's grown to has been like I wasn't even prepared for what it is now. Like the amount of people that I'm over, the different things that I have to, control. And I was like, dang, I didn't expect it to be like this, but that's a weekend that so many people look forward to because one, people get to come home. like I said, it's like a huge homecoming. It's alumni, so you got classes all the way back from the early 80s all the way up to the most recent graduates. Everybody, you getting to see all these different generations at one time. Like, people are catching up with individuals that they haven't seen
in years.
Yeah. And you got people that seeing each other that live in the same community with one another,
Right.
and don't even see each other.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a weekend to.
And it's funny that you're saying, I mean to cut you off, but it's funny you say that because I used to think about that back home when I got older. I was just like, man, I lived down there as a young kid. As a teenager, I live on the south side of Bloomfield, but then I got cousins and stuff on the east side or whatever, and it's almost like we in two different cities. It's like, I haven't seen you in 2 or 3 years, but we literally like 20 minutes away from each other. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy that some of those small towns are like that.
And so, man, that's one of the things I do there, man. And I got a lot more things, man, that, you know, I'm actively planning to do back in the community, man, because it's definitely needed, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not only I got that event, but I'm looking to incorporate more things because I want to get our youth more involved because it's nothing for our youth to look forward to. You know what I mean?
So that's why they're getting in a lot of trouble that they get
into. So it's like I'm proactively thinking of, you know what I mean, different ways, and God has given me different visions and things of that nature to be able to bring to that community, to give my community something to look forward to. And again, like, none of this has never been about me, but also providing an opportunity for something positive to be in our community and to provide a different outlook on different things in our community. Like I said, I started this event when I was 26.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I am now 29 going into, this would have been year 4. Like, I'm over hundreds of people coming together at one time. Like, I didn't know how to do. I didn't think that was something that somebody like me could do. Like, I was that kid that grew up in that community that stayed, in and out of trouble. Right. I was that one that, you know, people always looked at like, yeah, he just bad. That's just him. But now I'm that figure that a lot of people look up to. You know what I mean? Something that, you know, I've been blessed to be able to create, a lot of people look forward to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to me, that's what it's all about, is being able to create something that people can, you know what I mean, come together in a positive manner and realize that, you know, man, we all, whatever we dealing with, it ain't even necessary, man. We can all come together, have a good time with one another, and it don't have to be for a funeral or for chaos and for all that. Like, we get to come together, man, and just have a joyous time, man. Like, it's already enough chaos going on in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so this is an opportunity for people to just be able to have something positive to look forward to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next time you do it, man, give me a heads up.
I definitely will, man.
Definitely want to come check it out.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, appreciate you, man. And I look forward to doing this again, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and look out for yours. You still want to plan to do your show?
Yeah, man. Me, like I said, we got work. That's why I said we got work to do.
Yeah, man. All right, cool. Well, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I definitely want to sit down and do another one when we do your show, man. We can definitely gonna unpack some more stuff, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, cool, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Check you out next time.